Hi, Oksana.
Hi. So I close my eyes, right?
Yeah, first, I would like just a little introduction. Today, we're going to talk about Halloween. What is the history of Halloween? Today is the 28th 10 of 2022. I have just a briefly note for the people that maybe they don't know why we had, why we celebrate the world celebrate Halloween, but especially the United States is a fantastic big party festival in America. So here it says ancient origins of Halloween. The origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced so in. Okay, the Celts who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and the northern France, celebrated their new year on November the 1st.
First.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now we can go to explore what is behind Halloween. Ooh, why? Why? Because the people were spooked at the time. We know that the crow is a symbol that's and they declared the crown scare. How you call the spaventa passer in Italian? Scarecrow, yeah,
Yeah,
in the
scarecrow.
fields.
Yeah.
Okay, I will count from 1 to 3 just to make you think. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Some very tall, whitish grayish skinned humanoids showed up in hoods and black cloaks. They have kind of scary faces and they call themselves Kurds. K U with two dots on top. RT.
Correct.
Kurds. That's that's how they call their race. They can become invisible. I smell funny smell from them. It's almost like a rotten egg, something smell. And they wanted to. So they had two tasks. First, to hint that the souls will be used afterlife. The death is just something to celebrate because you go into different adventure in parentheses, and another one to get energy supply that is, he says, is stackable for us. We can preserve it, and that's why we created this particular holiday. So the truth needed to be told about the other side and get the energy because little kids get scared by skeletons and all this. And they just it comes from Uganda. You know what? It showed to me Uganda. It's Africa,
Hmm.
right? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. They have a tribe there, and they had black feathers, but these are not crows. This is some black, big, it's almost like ostriches, birds with long legs that they would take the feathers from them and they would put like all around their face like a wreath, and they would dance with drums and big rocks. I see like fire in between big rocks, and they would shout some things, and I see the wormhole opening above the fire. It's like the fire burns through the reality because they drink some stuff. They drink some yellowish brown, like mate tea almost looks like it.
Hmm.
Solution that they heat up to like it's bubbling, and then they drink it and they go through this wormhole out of their bodies. Their bodies are still there, like drumming and singing and shouting, but they go into the different galaxy.
So what do they
To
do? What do they want to do? What is the achievement here? This trip after in this state, deep state, because obviously they are intoxicated.
I know they're going to Orion Belt, and they go also to this constellation that we call the like a lizard constellation, Lucertola.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the energy is needed for the birth of, I see eggs, and I see their souls surrounding the eggs, and the mothers, they look like half human, half reptiles, are standing there, and they're opening their mouths. They're making some vibration around their eggs, and then they almost was their tongues getting into, just weird, getting into the bodies of this tribal men. I don't see women there, I just see men. And they siphon their energy for the eggs to hatch. Like otherwise they would not hatch. And that's how they get each egg, each little humanoid reptiloid hybrid would already attached energetically to each man in this ritual. And he can get his energy to grow fast, and he also can control his life for his benefits. If he needs more energy for something, like let's say they get together, go to war to conquer other universes, then they would need more energy, that they would make their lives, something bad happen in their lives so they can go through struggle, get more energy. Something like this. The ritual is for the reptilian babies to get energetically attached. It's like they have the cords attached to them when they come back to their bodies, still singing around the fire. And the same thing with kids when they walk around and they get scared by somebody dressed as a skeleton. It doesn't matter how, but kids do get scared. And in that scare mode, in that split second, when somebody sneaks behind you and scares you, they get an entity attached to them in that moment. And then it's like a celebration for entities. They get a chance to come out because of the low vibration frequencies and to spy on humanoid forms, as they call them, and mostly children, and get attached to them energetically. So a lot of people get interferences in Halloween. Plus, it weakens your body with the white dust we call sugar that is in candies, supposed to weaken your body, so it lowers the body's vibration also.
Oksana, I felt like this a channel when you was talking about, especially when you says Uganda, because there is like it's like this energy sense, but also I feel like Halloween is a big feast for the entities, okay? Because that day the humans they agree to compromise, because for you what can be entertainment, some people they use these masks. I mean, not everybody obviously, but people that generally they want having fun, they want to enjoy, this, but using the fear as a fun is still a trick. In fact, the
Yes.
trick or treat, even the word, the trick or treat. So do this if I know I scare you. I
They're
can.
scared into agreeing to this.
Mhm.
We're scared to agree. And that's how they put together a disc of programs, which are holidays. Each holiday collects a certain amount of energy for certain entities they implemented.
Mhm. Can we ask, is possible, if you can channel with the leader of the obviously entities of who's behind Halloween, which is the biggest master, and why and what he does. I mean, what is like he release his squad. He's all mixed up, reptilians, felinoids. They're all together, like I'm making a big party that everybody's invited, but energetically, and then use the human as a food for the feast of the day.
Mhm.
Or it's just a sort of entity. It's just one kind of entity.
They also distribute the energy not evenly. Kurds, for instance, they are giving energy to Zeta Reticuli Grays for exchange it for technology. So they use it as a coin, as money, for to get things they need, mostly spaceships or technology. And everybody gets his own share because they all have different interests. Some of them have interest more in the physical body and DNA of humans, even testing on human bodies, some technologies. Others are more interested into soul corruption. That's what came to me. They're testing how much it takes for a person to get corrupted by their offers in the etheric when the physical body is asleep, for instance, or which outside influences or circumstances would lead to both physical and non-physical part of a human being agree to certain things to be taken. It's like almost like in some cases they even get the soul taken.
Can I ask as well if there is a form of initiation to the especially children, because usually they use the children to in basically to install the fear, okay? Because the children they are excited, but sometimes they are freaking out, and this I think the children is the first, let's say, the tender food, and yeah, I think this is an initiation, like a ritual that the children are allowed. The humans, they are basically giving to the entities. Look, this is my child as a sacrifice. Even if it's a genuine game, but still is a fear. I mean, you're supposed to have a fun, not to fear. The fear is basically at is the result of okay, I scare you, and so I feel that there is something a bit, and I've been in a Halloween party. I even I've been with my son, but as for some reason I felt uncomfortable.
It's a conditioning. It is a conditioning more than initiation because they teach us that to get what we want, to get chocolates or candies, we need to agree for the interference of entities. Because by dressing up in costumes, each costume represents different group of entities.
Mm-hmm.
If you dress up as a skeleton, there will be underground, first a second D of entities,
Mm-hmm.
dimensional creatures, beings, and then so on. It depends. Each one has certain energy attached to it. And I'm
Okay.
looking at the dinosaur that my youngest is gonna be. I see reptilians attached to it,
Mm-hmm.
mitras, like those vicious ones. And I see that I'm looking at the chicken that my oldest daughter wants to be. And it's like, it's just bright light. It doesn't affect in any way, it doesn't get anybody attached to her.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry Potter that my son wants to be, it attaches to the Gregory of Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Wizards of Nubu Land. I don't know what came to me, Nubu Land. And it has to do with Anunnaki.
Guess what my son wanted to uh, want to use as a costume. I was, to be honest, I was like, uh, I didn't like, to be honest, because they did this recently because he's a teenager. All these kids now they watch all these Netflix movies, serious TV, and they talk about this guy Jeff Dahmer, which was a serial killer. Very,
Like a
very.
scream.
He was a
It showed up
cannibal.
to me as a scream mask. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know this character you're talking
and my
about.
son and his friends, they want basically um, use the costume of Jeff Dahmer. He put his glasses, like says, "Oh my God, are you sure? I mean, this is sick." Says, "Oh, come on, it's not real. I mean, it's just because it's fun." Yeah, but this guy was a monster. He killed real people. I don't.
Hmm.
I mean, you see, they don't.
Because he would
Uh,
it's not going to affect him, but he would subconsciously remind others who see them
mhm,
about the serial killers, the dangers of this world, and subconsciously they would be fearing that happening to them, like what happened in the movie. You know what I mean? It's all about subconscious reminder. You live in a scary world. You better behave well to get your candies and
mhm.
play by our rules.
Yeah, because people they because dress as a Jason, as a Freddy Krueger, and this is the imaginary basically fiction. But when I see, and my son is a very nice boy, obviously he's not attracted by it, but he says, "Oh my God, this guy is so ugly, so sick," that we thought that because this is supposed to be allowed to be a body that day. This is
Mm,
why I'm not really a big fan of Halloween, but not because I'm impressed or because I mean, for me it's just a sort of mask, like a party, a masquerade. But
mm-hmm.
when they use instead to be happy, to be funny, it's just the fear used as a way to be happy. That is what is tricky for me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't separate, the fact that you have to be. It's like when you watch a horror movie. I have to be. It's like you are asking to be affected, to
Mm-hmm.
affected to the fear. Okay, please, can I have the
Right.
fear that control my life of watching depressive movies? To be too sad.
Right.
Oh, this guy is dying. End of the movie. Is depressive, yeah. Or the revenge or Rambo to be angry against the injustice. Everything is part of obviously to
Playing
create.
with emotions and seeing what you know
Mhm.
how it affects us because it affects everybody differently.
Okay. I have a three quickly questions before we finish.
Mm.
First, how Halloween affect criminality in that days? A much percentage you can say the criminality because they use Halloween. Uh, First, if they affect the criminality, and second, what's after the party is over, is finished, because the portal apparently between the 1st of November to 4 is when is open for the dead people, ghosts, whatever. They're all allowed to circulating. Some the religion they says, oh, this is the saint day, this is the day of the death. And in many countries, this Halloween is interpreted in different ways, especially religiously.
Yeah.
So in this gap, in this portal that is between the 1st November to the 4th November, so what happened to the people is you become exposed, your protection is falling down, you become more
No,
influenced to be, I don't know, to be eaten by the evil or to become a evil yourself.
right now it's like through our phones. I see it's like our phones are portals, and the portals show the holographic screens that are seen by every single being who wants to see it in the universe, this artificial universe. And they can just see how they can crack you open, how they can seduce you, what are your thoughts. If you lower your, basically in Halloween, you, if you are just kind of your intention, it depends on your intention. If you dressed up as a pumpkin and trying to kind of like make people laugh, it's one thing. That's one intention. If you were walking around as a scream and yelling at kids, and trying to scare them and getting satisfaction out of it, sure enough, you already have an interference of some beings who are making you do it in the first place, and they're using you as a tool to get energy for your interference beings who are attached to you. They get the energy and you are doing the job of
Mm-hmm.
scaring and attaching to people. They're creating like an egregore of a person who gets attached to kids. It's all about the intention. You don't have to do special rituals or thoughts or protection. It's already there. Your knowledge is your protection. It's like they cannot touch you. They know it. You know the rules of the game. The thing is, the player is automatically out of the matrix, even though the physical body is still in the matrix. But mentally, emotionally, the player's out of the game when he knows the rules of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And since you and me know there's nothing can affect us, unless we go into a mode or poor me, type thing. Otherwise, no.
Can you turn Oksana because we're disappearing with the image, This.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
kind of twisting.
All right. Yeah, you have to turn a little bit more because it's disappearing. Okie dokie. More because it's
More
disappearing.
like this, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. You have to watch me because you are looking to the opposite.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Now I can see you. So what about? So you think there will be any percentage of criminality, example, this year? Because obviously there are people that are very sensitive to be, let's say, swollen by these entities. Obviously, there are other people that the consciousness, they're not affected. It's about, again, consciousness here.
You know what? Certain parts are gonna be revolutions in the country. So certain parts of this world, of this flat world, I wanna say. I mean, because it's just little part of the whole round planet that we live on, and then they're gonna be scaring people with physical sicknesses. Physical sicknesses. That's what I see. The two words.
Mm-hmm.
A lot
So
of
can you
those
give me a
different
percentage?
kinds.
Can you give me a number?
2.3. Oh, it depends. I'm looking at the US.
Yeah.
2.3. 1 point whatever 2 or 3 it is in Great Britain, for instance. Ooh, around 17% in Russia, but there's going to be a mess. You watch, there's going to be a mess there. There's fires exploding, there are people fighting with each other, the people splitting into camps of
So they
ideas.
celebrate Halloween in Russia.
Oh no, they're going to have their own Halloween by the end of this year. I mean, I'm kind of sarcastically saying it, but
All right.
just because
Yeah,
they'll understand that they're lied to.
it's okay. We're trying to stay in the topic of Halloween because obviously, I mean, this is a celebration that we have many years now. I mean, I remember the 80s. We have we I remember that the masking for me was carnival. Okay, but I remember a very sad or scary freak episode for me because my mom she sent me to the shop to buy something. And there was a group of kids. I was maybe 8, 9 years old, and I was attacked by these masked boys with sticks, and they starting to throw me stones and trying to beat me up. And they have all the masks like domino, like the ones they use for the Ku Klux Klans. They were so
Right.
ugly, so.
Check. Black and
And
white.
from the day, I never was. For me, the carnival, the nice mask, all these cowboys and stuff was finished over.
Because you can hide your deeds behind the mask.
Exactly.
Just like a
It was
soul wears a
violence.
body.
They wanted to do something really bad. And we was children. Okay. So it means if I mask, I can do something bad. I can
Exactly.
allow it to be.
Because you're not punished.
Mhm.
Here's the thing, if humans are wired that way, if they can just that's what happened in Ukraine. Russians came, they feel like they're not going to be punished. They can do anything. They can rape, they can kill, they can steal, you know, but they will be. But that's just an example. And that's the same thing. It's just a feeling of being invisible to the system, this mask. It's like a fake protection. But the thing is, the body in a lot of non-humans that are, uh, are pass as humans for us, they are also masked robots, masked machines, masked zombies. The same idea. It kind of also gives you a hint. Yes, both things. You can scare people, you can do things and being unpunished, and you can also, like even military people wear this balaclava, how it is called, only eyes are showing, so you can do whatever you want. The same idea. But
Okay,
it's all
then.
about the how, then it's either you have a soul or not. And
Yeah, I
if you
mean,
have a consciousness or not. If you're conscious, even 10 masks, you would be acting like a nice person
mhm.
because you have a soul, you have
So you
consciousness.
say it's a 70%. Okay, what about globally, the percentage? And we're going to finish. Um,
Crime rate on Halloween
yeah,
specifically.
globally.
It's, I see not the up, but I see kind of like the people getting down to the level of thought and vibration of the the people who are thinking of committing crime,
Mm-hmm.
and they also wait for this day to do it because they can pretend they're dressed for Halloween, but they can actually do stuff. And there would be like, I don't know, overall from 100%, I see clearly 13. This number too,
Mm-hmm.
So
Friday
that
13.
on this particular day, yeah, on this particular day for the global, but it's not that many, but there's gonna be some reports in the news that this one in mass tried to rob a bank or whatever stuff like this, steal money somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, that was very interesting, and thank you so much, Oksana. You can come back with us. So,
Oh, I don't know why I keep turning. I understand because I opened my eyes. I was like at the
you
closet. So.
you was watching all the.
Oh yeah, I'm just like hovering over this little pancake that I make with kids. It looks like a pancake, and just like we leave on a little. You know what? It's like they put an artificial layer around the original Earth,
Mm-hmm.
glow Earth, and then artificial Earth around, like a sphere around, and then on top of the sphere they put this little Jewish hat that the people wear on top. And then on,
Really?
yeah, it's like this Jewish hat represents the basically the layer we live on and we call Earth, just like a farm, and that's a big lie that all the entities who connect to people say, oh, your Earth is so special. I see so many Earths, I see so many farms out there, and they all tell them, oh, you're very, very special, that's why we're visiting you, because that's the idea, to make people, like in Russia, for instance, again, I'm turning back to example. That's why we didn't want to be part of Russia in 1991. Ukraine, separated, because it's like they keep them poor without gas, even though they're, selling gas to all the countries in the world, that their people don't have gas. But it's like I keep you poor, but I sell you all that you're special.
Mm-hmm.
You won the World War II. You're the best. You're the smartest. Russians rock. All this stuff, But you can do it to any country,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah,
can you can probably see that in every country they're trying to do it
yeah.
to
They wanted
people.
to domesticated the people, like
Right, right, right,
it's just the totalitarian mentality where I'm the emperor, which I'm
right,
just a single man basically, and
right.
This is why we need always to create the bad, the fear, to hypnotize people, to be slave, to enslave people. We are in a world of slavery completely.
Right.
And sometimes these entities, these bosses, they try, let the slaves have the day off today to make them happy. So let's do Halloween, let's do carnival, let's do a bit of
To
everything.
entertain them a little,
Yeah, of course.
because yeah,
I mean,
otherwise.
guys, obviously, we have to experience this life, yeah, and in a way or another. And yes,
To
it's important to having fun, but it's important to treat it just as a fun, to treat for something that they says that day you can be whatever you want to be. No, it's because you decide that day, not because they other people decide if this is your day to be. You are allowed to be happy or allowed to be scared, whatever. That's
right.
it. Use more your consciousness. Be more independent. That's it. And
Um,
thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Grazie anche
See
a
you
te.
soon. Ciao ciao.
Ciao ciao.